What's popping my pimples? Welcome back to Wallace Probably. Sonic fans have been known to fix a lot of SEGA games over the years, whether it be modding their PC ports so that they don't suck ass, like Sonic Adventure 2, fixing the graphics to be more in line with the original games like Sonic Colors and Adventure 1, to breathing new life and rebalancing a title like Sonic Riders. Point is, fans are always ready to get their hands on the next Sonic game in order to polish it to its fullest potential. But with SEGA's past few releases, you haven't seen that as much, which makes me happy because you really shouldn't rely on fans to make your game great. However, with the release of Sonic Racing Crossworlds, there's been one major problem that has baffled both myself and fans alike. I'm sure you know what it is, but in case you don't, with the addition of new characters getting added to the game, not only are SEGA not giving said characters rival interactions like they have with all the other characters in the game, which, you know what, that's fair, but in addition, SEGA is just not giving any of these characters their own voices. Unless they're Hatsune Miku. That's right, these characters, as soon as you play as them, are completely mute. Zip, nada, squelch, adjective. Stupid. Now, listen. I get that there's an argument to be had here when you got characters like SpongeBob, but even for properties that SEGA owns, they're not giving voices to their characters. That includes Joker from Persona 5, a game owned by SEGA. Also shout out Haru Okumura, the best character in that game. Ichiban from Yakuza, a game owned by SEGA. Knights, a game literally made by Sonic Team. Rusty Rose, a character from a Sonic cartoon. The Werehog, literally Sonic himself in a video game. None of these characters have voices. They're all mute. And people have to pay additional money to get them. Do you know how ridiculous that is? I guess they just couldn't handle Jason Griffith as the Werehog because of all that DILF energy. Keep Emsbury away from that man. She will poach his ass. So for months on end, whenever a new character gets added to the game, fans will flock to Game Banana, a site where you can download game mods, and wait for somebody to release a fan voice pack for said character. However, this may no longer be an issue. With the release of the mod, listen, I had to do that for dramatic effect. What makes the Speak DLC mod so special is that it doesn't just take a bunch of character voice packs into one mod. It's actually pretty revolutionary for the game's modding scene. From my understanding, so that's my little asterisk, I might be getting some of this wrong. A big issue with a lot of voice mods is how limited you are in the amount of voice clips you can add to a single character. You're usually limited to whatever sounds the character can make when using the stickers feature in the online lobbies. So a lot of the time, these mods would only have the character saying a couple lines. And when you hear the same 3 lines over and over and over without any variety, it does break your immersion quite a bit. With Speak DLC, these developers were able to separate the character's sticker voice lines with their in-game voice lines, leading to roughly the same amount of voice lines and variety that the main characters in the game have. In addition to this, each character has their own audio cues, allowing them to have their own sound effects. So, like when you're playing as Joker per se, you get some Persona sound effects sprinkled into your moves, whether it be when you're upgrading your stats or when you're summoning your persona in the game. Or say you're playing as SpongeBob or Patrick, the goats, if you will. You'll get a lot of underwater sound effects, including like bubbly sounds, stuff you'd find in like any of the SpongeBob games, or I guess the cartoon I should probably focus on. Or in the case of Sonic Prime, where whenever you play as Nine and do some tricks, you'll hear Sonic in the background say, "Nine, this isn't you." Another big benefit to this voice pack, and I feel like I need to remind you of this is a single mod that features a voice pack for a majority of the DLC characters. As at the time of this recording, the team is still working on a few characters, plus not all the DLC characters have been released, so give them some mercy there. Point is, you don't need to separately run like 12 different mods just so everyone can like Rouge the Bat does. On top of this, yes, can you believe there's more? The devs have shared tutorials and resources for other modders to create their own voice banks with these new methods they've developed. And I'm just sitting here like, wow, man. Way to go above and beyond to supporting the modding community. Seriously, they could have completely kept this to themselves, but instead they want to share it with everyone else so we can get like Sans Undertale and Teto cussing me out or something. I just want to give my flowers to the people behind this mod real quick because this is something worth celebrating. The lead team is made up of 4 devs: Amor, Artemis, Pendragon, Emma Splatter, and the one who published this trailer and the mod itself, Deadline. This is a massive undertaking, and I think people putting in the work to make the game just a better experience for everyone deserves the praise. Links to all of their socials in the description below if you want to shoot them a message and thank them for putting this together. Seriously, I can't recommend that enough. If some of you guys can witch hunt, you can kind hunt. Take my compliment, damn it! Also, to be clear, I hate witch hunting. Don't do it. I'm just saying, if some of you guys are capable of doing that, you're capable of giving these devs some compliments. Of course, they weren't the only ones part of this project, so you can find everyone else who helped this mod come together in the description, as well as the Game Banana page to download this mod. But there's more I want to talk about real quick, because funnily enough, when the mod went live, Game Banana actually took it down, citing it violated the submission section. However, in the additional details on the takedown page, the devs just linked the new page for the mod. And hey, it's still up, so you can go check that out. Reactions to this mod have been overwhelmingly positive thus far, with reactions such as, "This is huge for Crossworlds on PC. DLC characters can finally stand out properly with their own voices. This gives the game so much life. Oh, it's beautiful." Said this a million times, but Sonic modders are genuinely insane. I hate being a console user. Okay, that's actually rough, man, I'm sorry. But this also brings up an interesting point. Within all these reactions lies one common sentiment, which goes as follows. "This is an absolutely amazing project and definitely worth everyone's attention, but SEGA should have never left it up to fans to mod in some actual voice lines for DLC characters." The fact that this had to be a mod and isn't included in the $90 total vanilla game says a lot about you, SEGA. This is incredible and all, but it's actually insane and sad as hell that people have to mod in voice lines for the DLC characters in Sonic Crossworlds because Sega's lazy ass couldn't be bothered to get VAs to record and implement them in their $70 video game. This is what people want when they say voice DLC. Nobody was asking or expecting for specific character interaction dialogue. They just want the races to have actual character with their characters. Really cool hearing the Prime characters here. Also, II and Knights talk? Yeah, they do. In an interview, the game's producer, Takashi Iizuka, explained that including voice dialogue for non-SEGA characters required a large, difficult review scope, leading to a decision to keep them silent. But again, your own characters are mute as well. And then you have characters like Miku who are voiced. I get it's Vocaloid and it's not the same thing, but come on, SEGA. This is such a BS excuse. Like, if they just had a few characters that were third parties that didn't have voices, but everyone else did, it's like, okay, whatever, we get it. But to not even make the effort of doing some of your own characters that you have very recent voice recordings of too that you could have implemented in the game instead. Most people aren't expecting you to do whole rival interactions where there's extra voice acting and all this stuff. Like, no, you can ignore that. That's fine. It's just having basic voice lines for the races themselves, the parts that 95% of the time people are going to be spending their time on. It's just like for SEGA to charge you for characters that, mind you, they own and can't even bother hiring the voice actors to reprise their roles on. That's embarrassing. To be clear, I have nothing but love for the fans who put this mod together, and this is by no means to undermine what they've accomplished here. And I hope you, dear viewer, know this too. It just gets to a point of frustration that SEGA, for as much of a profitable company they've been in recent years, still cuts corners in areas that they really shouldn't, especially when they're charging fans additional money. But hey, that's enough of my venting sesh. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this mod, and who are you most excited to hear fully voiced in it. I want to thank my patrons for supporting me in making these silly little videos, and you, yes you, for watching them. Okay, bye.